Hey guys, today we're going to be showing you the 10 best central defensive midfielders that are going to change your team forever. So make sure you also stick around at the end, because at the end we're going to be having some cheaper alternatives to this top 10. So if you can't quite afford some of these players, we're going to have some cheaper alternatives at the end of the video. If you're enjoying the content, you do want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, and let me know in the comment section any other videos you'd like us to cover, and we'll do our best to cover them in the future. So starting off at number 10, we have got Bakayoko. This guy, obviously his foot birthday card now with that 5-star weak foot, 6'2". Obviously has some great attributes as well. Obviously we're able to attain him through the season objectives, and he's just a beast of a card. Got great pace, good passing, exceptional defending and physicality, and the best CDMs in my opinion are these kind of more physical, tall and imposing CDMs. Obviously we've got some advantages that we've listed. Very strong 1v1, again highlighting that physical, good short passing as well. He's able to make those 10-15 yard passes. Given that he is really just a powerhouse CDM, you really just kind of want to focus on those quick passes, just laying it off and letting the play develop. He's not going to be playing any 30-yard through balls or anything crazy like that. You just need to keep it simple. He's there to break up the play, make it difficult to play beyond him, and then just play those simple passes to the more creative players in your team. Top tier interceptions, exceptional at intercepting the ball. I mean, like I said, breaking up the play. 6'2" with his height means he's very, very strong in the air and great physicality, as we've mentioned. So this Bakayoko card is incredibly good. Only negatives and drawback to him that I could really find was his low composure. I think he's got 79 composure, which is not great for this FIFA. But other than that, great height, good strength, with a shadow chemistry style on him, which I've decided to be the best chem style to boost his pace and defending, to match up really well with his physicality. That's really all you need for a CDM if you want a big, imposing powerhouse CDM. Moving into number 9, we've got the alternative type CDM. We've got kind of the more nimble and agile CDM with Gattuso, 2-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot. So the skill moves are a little bit off-putting to begin with. Obviously for me personally, I'm not a fan of people that have really less than 3-star, so 2-star is not great, but 97 interceptions, stand tackle, aggression and reactions are some of his top tier stats. Only being 5'10" is not ideal. Obviously you want somebody to be a little bit taller. 5'10" is not great, but it's also not the end of the world. It just means that he's not going to be very good in the air. But in terms of on the ground, he's got obviously some decent pace, 75 pace, which is not ideal, but he's got that nimble, good agility and balance, so he will be able to kind of get around the pitch and make a lot of tackles. He's very strong in the 1v1 tackle, as I just mentioned. Again, much like Bakayoko, even though his passing stat is only 74, his short passing is really, really good. So again, the whole way you want to play with this Gattuso is to pick up the ball, receive the ball, play those 10-15 yard passes, and then just move on with the play. You don't want to be playing any crazy raking, 50 yard passes, switch play, because he's going to be a little bit inaccurate with his distance and accuracy. Again, top tier interceptions, 94 defending, so every single defending stat he has got is ridiculously good. Top tier reactions, his reactions being 97 is crucial, I think, for a CDM, and great physicality as well. As I said before, the only negatives I think he does have is that average pace, but his chemistry style that I think will be best for him is an engine to boost up some of that agility and balance, give him a bit more pace, and also give him a little bit of a boost with his dribbling, also giving him a little boost with his passing as well. But overall, this Gattuso card is very, very good. Moving into number 8, I've gone for Essien, 3-star skills with a 4-star weak foot. Again, 5'10" for a CDM, which is not incredibly good. For me personally, I like those tall CDMs as explained, but again, another attribute for this Essien. Obviously, he does have good agility and balance, being shorter, or more agility and balance than some of the taller midfielders. Very strong in the 1v1, has got amazing recovery pace, compared to someone like that Gattuso. This Essien card is a lot faster and does have the same kind of attributes when it comes to defending and physical. So that's why he's ahead of someone like Gattuso in the list. Very aggressive as well. These hyper-aggressive CDMs with, very high aggression are really difficult to play against, because they're really always up against you and make it very difficult to try and turn. And as explained, he's got amazing agility and balance. The only disadvantages I could really come across with this card was the fact that being 5'10" is not ideal. Ideally for a CDM, you want him to be maybe 6'2", 6'3", with an engine chemistry style boosting his pace, passing and dribbling. That is the perfect CDM. Number 7, I've gone for David Luiz, 3-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot, 6'2", which is kind of more my cup of tea when it comes to picking a CDM. 99 shot power and aggression and 97 ball control and long shots are his top 4 stats. Again, David Luiz, obviously being in the Prem, being Brazilian, is very, very easy to link up. Very strong, as always, in the tackle and also in the air. Again, like Essien, has incredible recovery pace, top tier interceptions. Even more so than Essien, he is hyper aggressive. He is really up your ass when you're trying to play. You know, these sort of CDMs that are really up against you make it very, very difficult to play because they're just all over you like a rash, and it's very hard to shake them. And given the fact that he does have such high physicality as well, if you do have a really nimble, agile player like a Neymar, for example, it's, you know, likely that you are going to get shoved off the ball really easily. Negative to players like this is obviously the fact that they can get a little bit too eager. So when they get a little bit too eager, they can sort of get past the ball, and when they do get beaten, they are typically then out of position. Disadvantage was the fact that he does have really low balances in the 60s. I think it's in the high 60s, but it is still quite low. But I still think for me, an engine wouldn't be worth putting on him to try and boost that. I would just give him a shadow, being that he already has really high physicality, passing and dribbling. Giving him, I think he will have like 97 pace and 98 defending. He'll be an incredible CDM. Moving into number 6, we've got one of my favourite cards this year. This Sandro Tonali card, this Future Stars Tonali with a 4-star weak foot. Only 3-star skills, which could be a little bit of a disadvantage if you wanted to play this Tonali as a box-to-box mid. For me, box-to-box midfielders really need to have 4-star skill moves, in my opinion. I think I like 4-star, 4-star with my players, but a great CDM nonetheless. 5'11" is a good height. Not quite the giants of sort of 6'3", 6'4" that we're going to get to with some players, but also is not terrible either. Great top 4 stats. Again, given the fact that I've rolled over this many times, that the physicality aspect is really important for a CDM. Very strong 1v1. Again, 88 pace, so he's got incredible recovery pace. Interceptions are first class, this Tonali card. Even though he doesn't necessarily have a 98, 99 rated interception stat, he does seem to intercept a hell of a lot of passes, and does make it very, very difficult to get past him. Also has a very good range of short and long passing, so he's somebody that you can play and spray a lot of different types of passes. Also has very good positioning, you know, he's never out of position, has really good work rate, so he's always in the right position you need him to be in. Again, the only little disadvantage would maybe be his height, but other than that, his dribbling stat is really good. He's got very good agility and balance. His dribbling is very consistent, but none of the stats are like outstanding. So overall, I would say his height maybe is the only negative I could think of. So the best chem style I would give him, I think an anchor, giving him a boost in pace, defending, and physicality would be really important. Give him a little bit more aggression would be, I think, really important for that CDM spot. Number 5, we've got a card that I actually do own, and it is this Prime Moments Emmanuel Petit. Now, this guy is an extremely good CDM. If you're someone that does play a lot of draft, you do get him in drafts pretty much every single time, or a lot of the time you get him in drafts whenever you have a CDM spot, and he is a beast. He's so good. Obviously, being French, he links to a lot of players. You know, if you have Ben Yeddas or Sissokos, he links to a lot of players. Very, very strong in the 1v1. Very, very powerful. Top tier interceptions. He's always intercepting lots of passes. Very strong in the air. Now we're getting into the 6 foot tall sort of CDM, 6'1". So he's very good in the air. He's not easy to beat. His positioning is really, really good. Even though he does have high work rates, which we do actually list as a disadvantage, where having a high attacking work rate for a CDM is not a good thing, because it means he gets up the pitch. Even though that's present with Petit, he doesn't ever really feel like he's out of position. When I've used him in draft, or when I've used him just generally playing, he always seems to sit really well in that CDM spot, despite of that high attacking work rate. A shadow chem style is definitely the best chem style for him. Giving him pace and boosting his defending to maximum, I think, is absolutely crucial, and you've got a great CDM on your hands. In the number 4 spot, we have gone for this Footmus Sissoko with the 5-star weak foot, 6'2", really, really tall. So again, it's something that I really like. But the thing that I like most about this Sissoko card, other than the 5-star weak foot now, is the 96 physicality. That is end game CDM material. Even though he's only an 88 rated card, that makes him just crucial in the critical stats. He's just top tier. He's god tier. He's end game with those stats. You know, 98 stamina as well, and a 5-star weak foot. I mean, what more could you want on a card? Incredibly strong given his physicality. You know, 97 strength. so powerful. His interceptions are ridiculous. If you were around at the beginning of the game and played against his regular gold card, that played far above his statistics. And this Sissoko card is another one that plays like an absolute machine. And I've only had the privilege of playing with it maybe in 2 or 3 different drafts, but every time I've had it, it has been insanely good. Very strong in the air as well, given his height, and again, perfect positioning. This Sissoko card is never out of position. Again, doesn't have the best work rates. I believe he does have high work rates again, but doesn't necessarily have the best work rates as I just stated. But you never really find he's out of position. He's always in position, and he's always just there to ruin your day. Agility and balance are the only disadvantages are listed, being that they are in the 60s, and as I said, the Shadow Chem style is the best one for Sissoko. In the number 3 spot, I have gone for N'Golo Kante, the Team of the Year Kante. This may be a little bit of a surprise that it is the number 3 card, but one of the things that I don't like about this Kante, as I've stated, is the 2-star skill moves. For me personally, I think you need a minimum of 3. Just some of the skill moves that are really effective in this game are kind of 3-star skill. You know, even like a heel-to-heel flick is really good skill move to use. You do need 3-star skills for that, so just little things like that are one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of this Kante. But in terms of when you look at his card as a whole, all of those 6 base stats, that is the best midfielder I think you've got in this game for me personally. The range of his statistics and the amount of high 90 stats that he has got, you would think that he would be the number 1 rated. But the only reason he's not the number 1 rated is just for me personally, given this is my list, I don't like the kind of short CDMs. I like the really tall, powerful CDMs, but incredible in 1v1 situations. Super agile, great balance, you know, so he's a real fly in that midfield. He gets around, he's really busy, and he just makes it very difficult to play against. Again, lightning fast with that 91 pace, perfect positioning, god tier interceptions. This Kante card, if you're someone that likes these sort of CDMs, obviously this guy is the best you can get in the game in this sort of mold of CDMs. Height at 5'6" is the only disadvantage, and skill moves as well, only being 2-star weak foots. But an anchor chemistry style for me, boosting his pace, giving his defending max and his physicality max, is the best chem style for him. In at number 2, I've gone for this Team of the Year Frenkie de Jong, 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Again, this is the best ball playing CDM I think you can get in FIFA this year. 99 short passing, 97 composure, 97 stamina and ball control. Incredible 1-3-1. As I said, best ball playing CDM. So if you want a CDM that will be incredibly good at intercepting and reading plays, and also then can get the ball and maybe travel 20 yards up the pitch, find some good passes out to the wingers, play some nice through balls through to the strikers, this is your guy. As a ball playing CDM, Frenkie de Jong is incredible. I've only had the privilege of using him a handful of times, especially you don't really see him a lot in draft anymore, but he is an incredible CDM and one of my favourites this year. An anchor chemistry style, again, giving that pace, defending and physicality is the best thing for him. But the number 1 slot for me personally this year has to be this 92 Patrick Vieira, the 6'4" absolute tank in midfield. 98 stand tackle, great stamina, heading and interceptions, and you could say that De Jong or Kante have better stats, and that is true. They have better stats than him. You know, they do have more 90s across the board. But for me personally, when I play this Patrick Vieira, it is just, you can't get past it. I feel like the only way to beat this sort of Vieira card is when you need the Eusebios or the prime Ronaldos or the Team of the Year Messis. They're the only sort of cards that can really match up to this, and it's very unlikely you're going to have those sorts of cards given the fact that they're all sort of 10 mil plus. But this Vieira card is unbeatable in my opinion. And if you said to me there's one CDM you can buy in this game, I would pick this Patrick Vieira. He's just got everything needed, and he's just that presence in midfield. You know, these really strong, tall CDMs are always very tough to play against, and for me, Vieira takes the top spot. So going into a couple of honourable mentions, some cheaper options if you can't maybe afford some of those top 10. At number 1, we've got this UCL Live Alan card. This Alan is an incredible CDM. If you can't afford, you know, a Patrick Vieira or a Kante, this Alan card is phenomenal. Really good at just sort of breaking up the play and moving on. You know, it is very good at doing that. Given that he's Brazilian as well, it's relatively easy to link up into teams. And this Alan card was so popular a couple of months ago in FIFA. It's now a little bit cheaper. Secondly, we've got this 88 Roy Keane, which was one of my favourite cards at the beginning of the game. I think for a CDM, he's got all the right stats as well. You know, his pace isn't fantastic, but with the shadow chemistry style boosting up his pace and defending. His passing, his short passing is good, which are kind of the only real key stats. His agility and balance isn't fantastic, but his physicality is phenomenal. He's also got very good stamina as well. Next up, we've got this 87 Wilfred Ndidi, this Team of the Week moments Ndidi. This is another card that is really, really good. It's got great work rates, nice height. I think he's 6'2", so he's nice and tall as well. Good pace, defending and physical is nice. Also got very good short passing, and his agility and balance isn't terrible. So this Wilfred Ndidi is a really good CDM as well. And then we've got another one of my favourite CDMs coming from La Liga, is this 88 UCL Live Thomas Partey. This is another card that is exceptionally good. 6 foot, I think, with his height, which is good. Very good pace. His defending and physicality is great, and his passing and dribbling, again, his agility and balance isn't terrible. So, you know, has good work rates as well. I believe he's got medium-high work rates, which is perfect for a CDM. A little bit difficult to link up. You really need a full La Liga team to link him up, or you need a couple of icons to sit around him. But overall, is a very, very good option for a CDM. So that is our list and some of our honourable mentions. So if you do want to see any more videos, like I said, guys, do let me know in the comment section. We'll do our best to make them. Make sure you do drop a thumbs up on the video if you like the content, and make sure you hit that subscribe button as well if you did find it useful. But that is all for today, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. I'm out.